Blackhawks, number 3, written by Mike Costa, art by Graham Nolan. We last left off with Canada and Wildman being taken hostage to some robot city thing. Kunoichi was found out to have nanobots, like everyone knows about it, so she's on quarantine, and Titus, the samurai thing, is still being interrogated. This issue picks up in the UN. The dude who's been poking around is giving his report. He's like, well, a lot of crazy stuff happened while I was there, and they have technology I can't even begin to describe. And his superior's like, are you saying that we should be investigating them because they're not doing their job properly or possibly committing fraud? And he's like, no. I just want to be stationed there full time because it's super awesome and cool. And then we don't deal with them for the rest of the issue. We cut over to Lincoln and Lady Blackhawk, who are basically just debating like how to handle the hostage situation, since no demands or anything, and they don't even know where they are. Lady Blackhawk wants to basically pull everybody out of the field and running intelligence work, but Lincoln understands, the rest of the world still needs to be protected. We need to do our job here as Blackhawks. They look over at Titus, who's still chained up in the same place they left him, and like, all right, we're going to have to move him because that place isn't secure. So I'm repurposing an old armory. It's lead-lined. It's super reinforced. There's no way that he's going to be able to get out of there. And maybe then he'll finally give us some information on our guys. Hopefully they aren't being tortured too badly. We cut over to Canada. He's screaming out, not in pain though. He's screaming because a bunch of dogs he's just being trampled. There's a bunch of dogs who are all playing with him. And they all can talk. They all have little up-style translators around their throats. And they all just like, oh, play. I'm a good boy. Play. Good play. And Canada's just having the time of his life. Wildman's like, okay, well, I'm going to talk to our robot guard or whatever here. And his name is Flynn. And he's like, oh, I'm just messing around with the voice technology thing. It's able to translate their thoughts and interpret it as language. It's super cool stuff. He's like, okay, so you're able to read human minds too? He's like, oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's all the same stuff, but it takes a bit longer because you guys are, a little bit more complex thought-wise. But anyway, hey, we got to go. We got to go talk to the mother machine. And I don't want to get into the gist of like what the mother machine stuff is right now, but I'll get to it. She welcomes them and she's like, hello, guys. Welcome to our city. I believe it's called Bespoke. It's kind of unclear if that's the name of the city or not, but Bespoke. And it's not actually a city. It's an idea of a city. So then we cut away from them. Titus is being transferred to his new cell, and he's just shit-talking all of the guards as he gets transferred. Lady Blackhawk comes up and she's like, hey, if you say one more word, I'm going to deck you in the mouth. And he's like, are you flirting with me? And decks him in the mouth. As he's being dragged away, we see that some of the blood that's splattered on the wall starts moving towards the vent system, which obviously is not going to be anything bad. Skipping the mother machine stuff for a second, we cut to Kunoichi, who she's still in quarantine. She's talking with Irishmen, and it's just a little bit of their own history thing. Apparently she wanted to be some pop idol, and Irishmen already knew this because she read the dossiers, which I guess they all got, but he's the only one who read. And then the power goes out, and Lady Blackhawk's looking around like, all right, where's the affected areas? And they say, it's just a couple non-essential areas, some crew quarters, an armory on C and D. And she's like, wait, shit, the armory's out? And that, of course, was the armory that they just transferred Titus into. So they lock down the floor. Lady Blackhawk goes to fight, and Lincoln's like, whoa, hold on, lady, we need you here. And he's like, no, I'm the only Blackhawk who's even here right now and able to fight. Also, we need to get Kunoichi, we need to get her access back. And so they give her access back as a Blackhawk, but they don't let her out to fight because she's still infected. So they're just like, all right, you're going to stay in there and you're going to basically help in the way you can. Meanwhile, Titus, he's gotten his armor back, he's gotten his swords back, and he's just slashing his way through everybody. Kunoichi's like, how am I supposed to help? I can't even run my own antivirus on this laptop. And he's like, dude, you're the antivirus. And she's like, oh yeah, I have nanobots in me. So she hooks herself up to like the computer system that's in her room via, a syringe. I don't know the exact word, but an IV. There you go. I don't know how that translates over to tech stuff, but whatever. Lady Blackhawks just firing, trying to find Titus. Power comes back on, and we see that it's Kunoichi. She's literally hooked into the system, and it's giving her a massive migraine, but she's like, all right, what do you need me to do? And she's like, can you lock the doors down? And she's like, all right, yes, locking. And she's locking him down and pushing Titus back further into the building, compound, whatever you want to call it. But Kunoichi is able to see is like he's not even trying to like cut his way out. He's trying to cut his way in deeper. He's trying to get to level 4. And Lady Blackhawk's like, what's on level 4? And we see that Titus was just trying to get to a nuclear reactor where he's currently getting his sword way powered up. So yeah, that's where we leave off. The Mother Machine stuff I skipped over. Basically, she just offers Wildman and Canada. She's like, look, we're not that different. You guys adapt to your situations. You change constantly. And humanity as a whole changes like over millions of years. We just do it instantaneously and as efficiently as possible. This is a utopia. It literally is everything you could hope for. And we're offering you a place here with us. So that's the end of their thing as well. So yeah, all in all, it's a very decent issue. It's very much like it gets a lot done in a short period of time. It introduces like it's a full philosophical debate that I just didn't really want to get into, but it's them just saying like, oh, and you kill people. It's like, no, but we don't. We just the nanobots and stuff like that. They've all got their own stuff going on. Overall, I'm going to give this a 7. It's a very well paced and well thought out issue. It's nice that Kunoichi's able to use her powers in it's not like she has full control over it and she just immediately knows what she's doing. Like she's figuring out she goes, and it's really taking a toll on her, and I like that. I like how it's not just an immediately like, oh no, I understand exactly how everything works and blah blah blah. No, there's a learning curve because she hasn't been able to experiment. So no, overall 7. I'm definitely liking Blackhawks' direction as of right now.